Cryptocurrency mining is becoming quite hot in Canada, and many miners are looking into moving their operations over there. Some of you may wonder, but why? Well, there's two things. One, it's quite cold, and two, they have quite cheap electricity comparing to some other countries. So Quebec was fishing for tech giants but called Bitcoin miners. At least that's how David Vincent, business development director at electric utility Hydro Quebec, described the results of campaign launched in 2016 to lure the likes of Facebook, Amazon and Microsoft to build their data centers in Canadian province. The sales pitch was simple. The promise offers plentiful, cheap and renewable electricity along with cold weather and politically stable environment. And White Hydro Quebec has gotten plenty of bites from traditional data centers operators. The company also quick discovered those same trades are equally attractive for cryptocurrency mining operations. As of lately, we've seen big miners moving from China, or at least exploring the possibility of moving from China to Canada. And also I've seen some YouTubers that are actually mining cryptocurrency considering moving to Canada simply because it is cheap to mine, it's cold, and it's very welcoming. Non-existent just 6 months ago, interest in Quebec from commercial scale Bitcoin miners has skyrocketed. Vincent said, amid the surge in cryptocurrency prices and political uncertainty in other jurisdictions. For Hydro Quebec, 35 cryptocurrency mining organizations are asking the company for information regarding connecting to the power grid there. Those companies now account 70% of the total wattage capacity in Hydro Quebec's development pipeline. In an interview with Coindesk, Vincent said, I have so much demand right now, there is no need for marketing. Pretty much every day I have a new one. And that is true. I've done a little bit of research and honestly it is looking very tempting. If you are thinking of mining in a large scale, obviously it's not worth it to move with 1 or 2 rigs, but if you're thinking of a large scale, maybe 100, 200, 500 GPUs, I don't know, that could definitely be a very good options for you. Now, this is not an advice, you're gonna have to do your own research, but it is tempting. And sentiments from others suggest what Hydro Quebec is seeing now is just the tip of the iceberg. Based on what I've seen in equipment purchase, real estate and power deals, things are exploding in Quebec, said Austin Hill, the former CEO of Blockstream, who is now investing in backing some of the mining projects looking to Quebec, cheap and abundant. Cryptocurrency mining, the energy-intensive process by which new transactions are added to a blockchain, generally requires specialized hardware, either ASICs or GPUs, to solve complex mathematical puzzles. Because of the vast amount of computing power that used, mining rigs generate a significant amount of heat, which is why mining operations look for colder environments to set up shops. Now, obviously, one of the best other countries is Iceland, but Canada, it's very tempting. But it's not only the cold weather that is draw for Quebec. Prices are very important, electricity prices, when it comes to mining, because it could be a deal breaker. The government's aggressive effort during the post-War II era to build dams in the northern regions has proven enticing enough to pull mining operators away from existing bases that already have weather on their side. Because of the war, Quebec has become one of the largest hydroelectric power producers in the world. Hydroelectric with 37,000 megawatts, which is massive of installed electricity capacity, routinely produces at surplus levels and is thus able to offer some of the lowest rates in North America to its commercial customer. For data centers, Hydro Quebec charges as low as 2.48 cents in US dollar per kilowatt. That is cheap. Now, if you haven't done mining, or if you are doing mining, that is cheap. I mean, I personally am paying 0.12 cents when I'm mining per kilowatt, and I know some people are paying a 0.20 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents, and even higher amount. 2.48 is a deal breaker without a doubt, and 30.94 cents per kilowatt hour for Bitcoin miners, which is still very good. 4 cents, that is very, very good. The slight increase for the latter due to the mining operations, smaller job creations and economic development footprint. Vincent said these rates are anywhere from 50% to 3 times lower than in comparable parts of North America, according to data compiled by Hydro Quebec. historical consistencies in pricing over time, and the assurance that their rates are not simply teasers that will jump overnight are a key part of the value proposition for cryptocurrency mining operation. Vincent added, we always succeed at staying below inflation. It's been like that since 1963 and it's not going to change. And while some have argued that cryptocurrency mining is environmentally degrading, there is growing trend by these mining operations toward finding competitive advantage via greater energy efficiency and resource optimization. In some hot environments, well, it's crazy when it's hot. The current ASIC equipment ends up having a very short shelf life of around 6 to 9 months because it gets so hot and the cost of cooling isn't worth the cost of the equipment. Here, who heads the Montreal-based venture said. Now, we tend to say miners that if your miners do survive the summer, you are fine, because obviously the winter is the best period for the miners. You know, cold weather, you don't need to cool them down any extra, and not just this, it's not, you know, overheat does kill your miners, and definitely colder weather, it's a very good advantage. And when you throw in the cheap prices for electricity, it's a win-win situation. At least that's how it looks to me personally. It's just an easier run. It's super hot, throw it away and buy a new one. It's hugely wasteful. And moving to cooler climates like Quebec could help. Well, let's be honest, I mean, you can't just run it anymore, throw it away and buy a new one, because simply they are not available. So we are all trying to find a way to obviously expand the life of our miners somehow, and colder weather does help. Political stability. Another driving behind Quebec accidentally emerged as a cryptocurrency mining hub is that the miners are increasingly looking for stable political environment where they can deploy their capital investments and plan their business efforts for 4 to 5 years in advance with a high degree of confidence. While several of Hydro-Quebec interest parties are based in North America, a significant number of mining organizations hail from countries, notably China, where the landscape for cryptocurrency mining and cryptocurrency in general has become cloudier. And that is true. I mean, China miners are currently having a difficult time, and I'm sure Canada, it is very tempting to them, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of them has already moved over to Canada. In China, for instance, rumors have been surfacing that the government plans on withdrawing preferential benefits such as cheap electricity and tax deduction to Bitcoin mining operations. Plus, the People's Bank of China has been one of the more aggressive regulators in the world when it comes to cryptocurrency, most recently issuing a ban on initial coin offerings and moving to shut down Bitcoin exchanges. Notably, Vincent said mining interest in Quebec began to tick upwards significantly last fall after these moves by China. They don't say it like that, but the fact that the rush of the demand came at pretty much at the same time they were having problems in their previous jurisdictions, we could think there was a correlations. This concern, along with a steady fall on reports about mining equipment seizure, kidnappings and game playing by corrupt public officials in a place like Venezuela, could make setting up shop in places where these risks are minimum more important than ever for mining operators. A good problem. While Hydro-Quebec is still admittedly trying to fully grasp the new class of customers, it's been more than willing to roll out a welcome mat for them because of the enormity of the request, not to mention the 24/7 nature of their operations. To show mining operation scale, Vincent compared them to Hydro-Quebec's other customer. Its smallest commercial customers, such as Montreal Canadiens Hockey Arena, require 5 megawatts of electricity, and a typical data center requires 30 to 60 megawatts. By contrast, the top 3 to top 5 miners in the world, most of them are talking to us, and the demand that they have right now is around 2 to 300 megawatts. And there you have it, folks. Mining does require lots and lots of power, and when it's cheap, it's a very good opportunity. It's huge, but when the industry is volatile, as cryptocurrency, nothing is fully set in stone, and as a risk-averse, publicly owned utility, Hydro-Quebec is minimizing exposure by requiring miners to foot the upfront cost of the power connections and arrange a line of credit from a third party large enough to offset any losses in the event of something dire. The question for us is a trend that will continue to stay at least as strong as it's right now, Vincent said. But for now, the biggest problem facing Hydro-Quebec is finding enough buildings and locations that are suitable to be used as a mining farms, as well as hiring more people who can help meet all the requests that these types of potential clients are as quick as they are coming in. And there you have it, folks. We have the capacity, but we are not used to having so much big demand like this. It's a good problem to have. Now, as I said already, I've seen some even YouTubers considering moving to Canada. Obviously, they're considering to set up big operations down there, and it If you are having large operations or considering of building yourself a farm, and currently where you're living it's hot or electricity it is quite expensive, this is an option that it's worth exploring. Now I'm not quite sure how one can go about. I am trying to do a little bit of research. I don't have obviously too many rigs at the moment. You know, it's not something I've ever thought of making, but I don't mind making a video with follow-up and trying to give you a bit more information how one goes about of setting up a farm like this down in Canada. And yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video, but that is the two main reasons as to why miners are moving towards Canada. One, it's cold. Two, the electricity is very cheap, and those two factors are pretty much, you know, what makes it or breaks it when it comes to cryptocurrency mining in terms of how much profits you're gonna end up having after your mining. That's it. Hope you enjoyed. Link will be down below to the article. I will link another article that I've seen in regards to this. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask. If I missed anything, feel free to share. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.